Is it too late to pre-order though? I mean, go right ahead if you want, but it's pre-order at your own risk. We told you.
Yeah.
All right. So our other our new favorite quote unquote
Here we
pinball
go.
company.
Oh, this is refreshing. See, like Raza, I'm like getting tired. Like I'm coming alive now. This is fresh.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That was just like we got to talk about
Here
it.
we go.
This is the juicy stuff here. So
here we got Ian.
Nick's a real insider.
My man Ian.
He Nick joined the mailing list, right?
Oh, I'm on the mailing list. I'm up in that fucking thread on Pinside, chiming away, not holding back.
Did you join the Ballerama Pinball Enthusiast Facebook group yet?
Not yet, because then it will make 11 members of that Facebook group, and I want to keep them at a solid 10 for now.
There it is, the new Facebook group alert.
There's a ball around. Well, let's see the description. No, go back.
I
Kevin.
need to make this fit better.
All right. So this is another thing that I just noticed today. So Ballerama has a Facebook group page. All right. But then they also have another Facebook page, which is like a Ballerama Pinball Enthusiast page. There's already a Pinball Enthusiast page. There's actually multiple ones of that, and they've created another one. You just come and talk about pinball. Doesn't have to be Ballerama. It could be any pinball. Because we don't have any outlets or forums to do that. So they've attracted 10 people since June or July. Congratulations, Ballerama. That's indicative of your decisions that you're making. So
how many of those do you think are Ballerama employees?
Oh, there's family and employees and what's it, Natalie?
Yeah, they're marketing.
The marketing. Who's bilking them?
Yeah, totally.
Natalie is the biggest bilker ever.
All right, let's. I got to show my favorite.
Is it them taking shit out of the box?
No. My favorite is the pros and cons of using Kickstarter.
Look at the graphics. Look at how ugly that is.
It's like Windows 3.1, but blue and red.
Is that a? Oh, God.
All right. Are we ready? The pros and cons of using Kickstarter funding. Pro: the manufacturer has funds up front. Con: the buyer pays up front.
That's a big con.
Okay, yeah.
That's a big con.
Pro: monies can't be withdrawn, so causing a halt. Con: buyers can't get refunded money. Yeah, that seems
There's
like
a lot of cons.
Seems like a con.
Yeah.
Pro: Kickstarter.
Emphasis on con, by the way. Let's focus on that word a little bit and deconstruct it. They're telling you right now what's going on, people.
Kickstarter can provide. This is a pro. Kickstarter can provide a cheaper source of funds for investors. Sorry. Con: must pay a Kickstarter.
This is Ballerama telling us how Kickstarter works. This is great.
Thanks.
Take notes, people.
Pro: manufacturer has control of the business as no other investors. Con: harder to confirm enough buyers, so Kickstarter funding fails. All or nothing.
You're not reading it right, Kevin. Let me try the next slide.
Okay.
Pro: manufacturer doesn't need to transfer share ownership to investors. Con: no ongoing investor assistance.
Nailed it. Is this your
That's I'm in sales, Kevin.
This is it. There you go.
I like that one too.
Natalie. She's on the Ballerama thread.
Somebody
found the Adobe stock photo that she's in front of.
Yeah, and then the post on Pinside was like there's so much brainstorming ideas going on. There's nothing else in the office.
Yeah.
It's just a whirlwind of brainstorming ideas.
So much brainstorming.
So much. Is there Robert? Robert. I was a Freudian slip. Ian. Ian had a video of him taking some fucking pinball parts out of a box that he got from like Marco's or Pinball Life or something.
They didn't put that on Instagram, otherwise I'd show it. But
it's like 2 minutes of him just pulling like a small box, like pulling out is a pop bumper. Here's the plunger, some shit. Like, all right, like, dude, like, what is the point? Who told you to do that? Did Natalie tell you to do that? She's bilking you.
This one's pretty.
Coming for you, Natalie.
This one's pretty good. The Ballerama. What's coming in December? Are you ready to get hyped for what's coming in December?
Oh, kind of, because it's content for our podcast. So.
We bring you Heidi, our assistant artistic director, with a reintroduction. So
she's getting reintroduced.
They're going to reintroduce Heidi.
The intro was just Heidi is basically helping his wife who needs help doing designs on their non-existent pinball machines. Okay.
So, but we're gonna meet Heidi again. Andy, an introduction to our chief muso. Do you know what that is? And sound engineer. Is that like a music person?
I have no idea what a muso is. I read that and I was like, maybe I'm the only one who doesn't know what a muso is. But Kevin is an educated gentleman.
We're a small town. He's a music guy. Maybe he knows. Hopefully he's in chat. He can fill us in. Later, we include a snippet of some music he's put together to match.
I like how it's just Andy. It doesn't they're not, like he's so good that he doesn't even have a last name.
You're just supposed to know
who's
who
he
Andy
like
is.
fucking Cher? Like no name, just Andy. All right.
We explain our association with Backbox Games, who will supply our electronics, software, and coding. They will also advise us on game design and rule set. So who's designing your game?
Yeah, so basically Backbox Games is making your game?
Yeah.
So they're doing everything? What, you're just facilitating this scam? Barb and Ian?
They also have a few videos. Barb and Ian's story, bumps we've had along the way, and how that's
Including probably this podcast as a bump.
Barb as an artist, and just a few bloopers just for fun.
I think the whole thing's a blooper, so I can't imagine what they've designated as a blooper in their eyes.
It's British for musician, muso. Okay.
Okay.
So they're getting
All right.
they're getting fancy. We'll even drop in a couple of seasoned greetings.
Seasoned. Is it spicy?
they're
I don't want anything spicy for my tummy, especially late at night. So I don't want their seasoned greetings before I go to bed.
Are they gonna marinate them? Like, what's going on?
Oh, maybe they're marinating them. I don't know.
They've been marinating all November, and they're ready to unleash the seasoned greetings.
All right, all the seasons.
To celebrate the time of the year with a smile. Enjoy. So
Seasoned. I didn't see that coming. That's good, Kevin. I call it enjoy. We are. Thank you, Barb and Ian. Thank you, Natalie. You guys are crushing it. Stupid fucking PowerPoint.
seasoned greeting. Did they have hashtag man cave on there? Oh yeah, let's look at the hashtags. Look at all that. That screams like I googled arcade hashtags to use on Instagram. Top arcade related hashtags on Instagram, and they copied it.
Barb and Ian is probably, why are they so mean? Well, if you don't know why, then you're that clueless. This is the point. It's like everything you're doing reeks of. Some people are calling it a con. I don't think it's a con. I don't think you're terrible people, but I think that you've not done any research, and I think you're overly naive somehow. But here's where this becomes a con, or this is where you're culpable for what's ahead. Whether that's loss to people who put faith in you, or your own time, energy, and money. It's the fact that you're active on Pinside. Maybe you've heard this podcast. I heard you interviewed on on another podcast, and that podcaster asked some decent questions that should highlight concerns, and you don't seem to pick up on any of them. Like people are throwing very valid concerns. They're saying, look at what's happened in pinball in the last 10 years with these companies trying to go down the same path. Look how upset people are of this model doesn't work. Try to do it another way. Create a prototype. Do that. Spend your own money. Just create a prototype. Put up what's out. Create something first to see, and then ask people to invest in it. The road you're going down is wrong, but you guys are going full steam ahead. You're saying no. We got this. This is when it becomes a scam or a grift or whatever you call it, because people are telling you this and you're not listening. So there you go.
Yeah, on Pinside, he responded and it was like, well, we can either do it like this or not do it at all. And everybody's like, oh,
don't do it at all.
How about not doing it?
Yeah. Yeah. No one's asking for it. Here's what's fucking crazy, Kevin. All right, so their game is $10,000. The game that is going to be a space themed, I guess. That's what I garnered.
Is that from your insider info?
No, I think it was on the podcast they alluded to with space theme. They're like, oh, it might be something like with the art. All right, so you're going to put out a non-licensed space theme, and it's going to be $10,000. I want you to ask this. How the hell are you going to make a game better than Godzilla? Because that's what you're competing against. And Godzilla's not even $10,000. You can get one for $6,600 Pro. How are you going to make a game that competes with that? How are you going to make a game where you've never designed a game that you're competing against a game that's cheaper, that's designed by possibly the best pinball player ever, who maybe will be one of the best designers, if not the best designer ever. He's like 4 for 4 on designs, and people love his designs. How are you going to compete with that? How are you going to compete with Stern, who has been in business for 30-plus years, right? Who manufactured God knows how many games. How are you going to compete with that? How are you going to compete with the artists? How are you going to compete with the people who have decades of rule knowledge? How are you going to compete with that and have the nerve to charge more in a non-licensed space theme game? Are you crazy? If you can't answer those questions, then stop what you're doing immediately. If you want to do something, get your feet wet, do a prototype. Put something out there. It takes time to hone your craft. You can't just be like, I played fucking pinball in uni and I like it, and I'm in a hobby in a league or something. That's not enough, man. You can't then go out and ask people for money and say you're going to create 300 games that are more expensive. You have no value proposition. If you were creating a game that's $3,000 or $4,000 somehow, which is just not doable, especially with what's going on in the world supply chain, but that would be your value proposition. Hey, we want to create a game, okay, that is going to be cheaper than Stern or everything else out there, all right? I think there's a market for that. Okay, now you have maybe some attention. You're still going about it wrong, by trying to take money on Kickstarter, but you have no value proposition. You're nobody. You have no pinball experience other than you like it. You've never designed a game. You've never built a game. Your game costs more than your competitors who are professionals in the market. You've got nothing. Like, this is the craziest thing. So maybe you'll find some fools to throw money at you. I have no idea. But listen to what people are telling you. Build a prototype. If you're passionate about pinball, that's great. That's great. Build a prototype. Spend your time and money doing that. Invest your own time and money if you believe in yourself and what you got. Okay? Your wife can still do the art for it. You could still maybe find source people to do the music. Put it together and then wow us. Look at all the other people who have put games together, who've just toiled year after year. Keith Elwin, his first game was a project game, and then Stern picked it up and made it. Now he's got a job there, all right? We see Legends of Valhalla was a game that a couple guys made, and it was good and got picked up by American Pinball, right? Scott Denisi made a game, Total Nuclear Annihilation, got picked up by Spooky. All right, they spent years doing that. They didn't go out and ask for money. They proved that they had something that was of value, and now their games got made. Do that if you like pinball that much. And that way you take on way less risk. You're not risking people's money. Stop with your delusional fantasy. Amen. We'll talk more about that. I know you won't. And that's good for me and Kevin because then we have content, and I love making fun of you guys. So keep it up, Barbanian.
Yeah, there you go. My big issue is it's the pre-order thing. You can't do pre-order pinball anymore. After we've been taken for a ride so many times, between Big Lebowski and Predator and Alien, the list goes on and on. Deep Root, you can't do this model anymore. Getting deep rooted is a verb. Yeah, we're not going to get deep rooted anymore. Even like JJP, they were funded back on the pre-orders of Waz, and it was hard.
Well,
and
even
it took them a long time to get that game to come out.
Even Ship B made a prototype before they were scamming people out of their money.
Yeah, it's true.
Barb and Ian don't even have the they won't even do that.
I know.
They're trying to scam people first before even producing anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like we're gonna do a Kickstarter for a game that we don't know what it's gonna be yet. Why would you give any money to that? It's like the who are the guys making the Pinball Gremlins game? Remember that one?
Dude, it's like it's like they're new to the hobby and they have not done any research. And but the worst thing is now that people are telling them, they're still moving full steam ahead. It's not like, hey, you're right, I get it, we're gonna do this, and that's how you build some credibility, right? Like, okay, you might get people rooting for you. People root for people who are doing these home projects and prototypes. That's cool. I don't know. Whatever. Don't listen. You're not gonna listen to us. Nellie's gonna keep on taking your money. Keep it coming. It's content for us. Works. All right. Speaking